Now I know, maybe you're thinking, I don't know how to build a dam. I don't know how to get 1 million people involved in anything. Well, let me tell you a secret. No one does when they begin. Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work on them. You just have to get started.
He was called a thief, a fraud, a robot with no emotions. He was sued by his best friends, dragged in front of the United States Senate, attacked by the entire world, and he never stopped building. His name is Mark Zuckerberg, and this is not a story about Facebook. This is a story about what happens when a person absolutely refuses to quit. Dobbs Ferry, New York, 1990s. A quite suburban neighborhood. A kid in his bedroom. While other kids were playing outside, Mark Zuckerberg was coding. At 12 years old, he built a messaging program called ZuckNet, so his father could communicate with the receptionist in their dental office. Not a school project, not a homework assignment, just a kid who saw a problem and built a solution. His father hired a software developer to teach him privately. The developer later said he had nothing left to teach Mark within a year. This wasn't a talent, this was obsession. By the time he got to Harvard, one of the most competitive universities in the world, Zuckerberg wasn't there to impress anyone, he was there to build. In his first year, he created Course Match, a tool that helps students pick classes. Then, Face Match, a site that crushed the Harvard servers on its first night. The university threatened to expel him. Most people would have stopped there. Mark Zuckerberg apologized and kept going.
So, when we originally got started at Harvard, it was just me programming what was a Facebook, really, at that time for Harvard, because they didn't have anything like that. So, I realized that because I didn't have people's information like a school would in making a Facebook, I needed to make it interesting enough so that people would want to use the site and want to put their information up, or else it wouldn't be useful for other people and therefore it wouldn't grow. So, launched it at Harvard in early February of 2004. And within a couple of weeks, 2/3 of the school had signed up. So at that point, my roommates were kind of like, this is pretty cool. I bet this would work at other schools.
Mark Zuckerberg launches the Facebook.com. Within 24 hours, 1,200 students sign up. Within a month, half of Harvard is on it. Within a year, it spreads to colleges across America. He was 90 years old. He had no investors, no business plan, no marketing team. Just code, and a vision that most people couldn't see yet. And then came the moment that would define him. His co-founders sued him. The Winklevoss twins claimed he stole their idea. Eduardo Saverin, his best friend, sued him from diluting his shares. The lawsuit, the headlines, the betrayals, everything that would break most people. Zuckerberg settled, moved forward, never looked back, because he understood something most people don't. You can't build the future while looking over your shoulder.
When I was getting started, I remember the night that I launched the original Facebook website at my college, right? It was just a website for my college to basically, it was literally a Facebook, right? It's like Harvard didn't have a paper Facebook, and I was like, this is stupid. Let's just make a version where people can input their own stuff, because people like expressing stuff about themselves and people are really interested in learning about other people. So let's go do that, and we can help people connect around that. So I launched it, and I went to go get pizza with my friends. And that night, we were talking about how it was really cool that I got this out at Harvard, and people were going to use it at Harvard, but someday someone was going to do this for the world. And it was not even a possibility for me that was going to be us. It was completely obvious that it was going to be someone else, right? It was like we're just college kids. Who are we to do this, right? It's you have Google and Microsoft and Yahoo at the time, these great technology companies that have thousands of engineers and all these servers and all this resources. So it's it just wasn't even a question. It wasn't even a hope that I had that we would do it.
In 2012, Facebook went public. It was supposed to be the greatest moment of his life. Instead, the stock collapsed. Analysts call it a disaster. Investors panicked. The media declared Facebook was finished. Zuckerberg lost billions on paper in a single day. He was 28 years old, and he sat in front of his team and said, "We don't build services to make money. We make money to build better services." That one line tells you everything about how this man thinks. Then came 2016, the election, the data scandals, Cambridge Analytica, congressional hearings. Every newspaper in the world had his face on the front page. He sat in front of the United States Senate. 44 senators for 5 hours, alone. No lawyers next to him, no notes in his hand, just him. And when it was over, he walked out and went back to work.
Facebook is an idealistic and optimistic company. For most of our existence, we focused on all of the good that connecting people can do. And as Facebook has grown, people everywhere have gotten a powerful new tool for staying connected to the people they love, for making their voices heard, and for building communities and businesses.
So, how does a person survive all of that? How do you keep building when the entire world is against you? The answer is in how Zuckerberg thinks. And there are 3 principles that have guided him from that dorm room to where he is today. Facebook's original motto was move fast and break things. Most companies are terrified of breaking things. They plan, they study, they wait for the perfect moment. Zuckerberg believed that the cost of moving too slow was always higher than the cost of making a mistake. Because mistakes can be fixed, lost time cannot. Zuckerberg has never chased fame, never chased headlines. While our CEOs were building personal brands, he was in the office, coding, building, improving. He wore the same gray t-shirt every day for years. Not because he couldn't afford better, but because he refused to waste mental energy on decisions that didn't matter. Every thought he had was reserved for building.
You know, I'm in this really lucky position where I get to wake up every day and help serve more than 1 billion people, right? And I feel like I'm not doing my job if I spend any of my energy on things that are silly or frivolous about my life, so that way I can dedicate all of my energy towards just building the best products and services and helping us reach our goal and achieve this mission of helping to connect everyone in the world and giving them the ability to stay connected with the people that they love and care about. So that's what I care about. So even though it kind of sounds silly to, all right, that's my reason for wearing a gray t-shirt every day, it also is true.
When Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion in 2012, everyone thought he was insane. When he paid $90 billion for WhatsApp in 2014, Wall Street called him reckless. Today, Instagram alone is worth an estimated $100 billion. Zuckerberg doesn't think about next quarter. He thinks about the next decade, and that long-term vision is what separates builders from managers. But here's what most people miss about Mark Zuckerberg: the valuation of the man himself. The awkward, robotic kid who struggled to connect with people has spent his entire adult life deliberately working on himself. He set himself annual personal challenges. 1 year, learn Mandarin. 1 year, read 25 books. 1 year, meet a new person outside of the Facebook every day. This is a man who applies the same obsessive discipline to becoming a better human being as he does to building products. He married his college girlfriend, Priscilla Chan, a woman he met waiting in line for the bathroom at a party. They have pledged to give away 99% of their Facebook shares to charity. Not someday, they signed the papers already. The same focus that built a company worth over $1 trillion is now pointed at solving diseases, education, and poverty.
But I do think that there's really something to it, right? I mean, there's like, if you're discussing any idea, there's all these reasons why it might not work. And so I think that, and those reasons are, probably true. The people who are stating them are, probably have some validity to it. But the question is that the most productive way to view the world? And, I think across the board, I think the people who tend to be the most productive and get the most done, you kind of need to be optimistic, because if you don't believe that something can get done, then why would you go work on it?
Here's what I want you to take from Mark's story. Not the billions, not the platform, not the power. This. Zuckerberg started in a dorm room at 19. He had no guarantee it would work, he had no roadmap, no mentor showing him the way. He just had an idea, and the relentless belief that it was worth pursuing. The question isn't whether you have what it takes. The question is, what are you building? That's the mind that connected the world. If this story made you see things differently, subscribe. Every week we break down the people who change history and extract the mindset that made it possible. I'll see you in the next one.